Hello and welcome to the World of Warships with me, Bubblebox. And can you tell what this is? For you Wargame fans, yes, this is a Kongo. So I've been playing this a fair bit over the last couple of days and got myself enough experience to get myself a fully upgraded Kongo battleship for the Japanese Navy in World of Warships. However, we're just going to do a quick first play kind of thing, or first look kind of thing for this video, and I'll show you this bad boy in action towards the end of the video. So what's World of Warships all about? Well, if you ever played World of Tanks or World of Planes or anything like that, it's pretty much exactly the same. So you have ships, massive, great, lumbering ships, although some are, like the destroyers, are much more nimble and agile than the lumbering, great battleships of the day. So what's it all about? Well, this is your port that you start off in, and this will have your basic ships inside. When you start off in the game, you get two kind of tier 1 ships. You get this one, the Erie, which I'll show you in battle very shortly, and you get a Japanese cruiser as well. The Erie is classed as a cruiser in this game, although it's a gunboat with kind of cruiser type armaments and slightly upgraded weapons and things. But you also get a Japanese cruiser, the Kawachi, one of these guys as well, which looks a little bit more impressive. But again, you will soon get experience in this game, soon upgrade to the better looking types of ship. Now when you do first start off, there's kind of different things you have to go through. You'll start off at kind of grade 1, and at grade 1 you can only actually do battles against the AI, so team up with other players to fight against a bot team, and the AI in this game is pretty good, so it will be quite difficult in your first hours or maybe your first day of play of this to actually, you know, get some scores on the board and some decent experience. But once you've done that, you will very soon go up to grade 2, in which you can start playing other people in randomly generated games from kind of 6v6 all the way up to kind of 10v10 sometimes, depending on how many people are on and that sort of thing. And the generator does try to put you in the tier closest to the ships you're fighting with, of course. And when there's a lot of people on, that's easy, but when there's not so many on, that can be quite difficult. Remember, this is still in the beta version of this game. And then once you've got a few more XP, then you'll get onto some daily missions, and these are kind of things that put up every day to kind of encourage you, if you want to play the game a bit more, to encourage you to do that. And it gives away, well, we'll say free XP. It's not free, you've got to do the missions, of course, to get the experience points so that you can tier up a little bit quicker. And then once you get to grade 4, then they just give you away a whole load of experience, so you can get some better equipment, better armaments and stuff. And then you can get to grade 5, and at grade 5 you can actually start getting people to command your ships. And the advantage of having a commander in your ship is that he is kind of upgradable. He has knowledge, which will make your ships and the various parts of your ships function to a greater degree than they did previously. And the better the commander, the more upgraded your commander, the better your ship will perform. And then finally you can get further ship upgrades at level 6, which you can kind of add on. You can make your turrets better, you can make your repair systems better, longer range on your guns, stuff like that. You get the idea. I think it's going to be free to play like World of Tanks and stuff like that. And then of course they try to encourage you to spend your money in game by using a combination of purchase tokens, exchange credits, and converting your experience points and stuff like that, just to try and encourage you to put a bit of money into the game. And there are some specialist units that can be bought as well. So what units are available? Well, there's a tech tree, just like in kind of World of Tanks and World of Warplanes and stuff. At the moment there's 3 countries: Japan, the USA and the USSR, but I'm thinking they might add more. Hopefully they'll add Great Britain, so we can have some of those fantastic World War II British ships in the game as well, but we will see. So the Japanese have access to the big battleships, including the Kongo there. As you can see, I've already got that. Oops, go back to the tech tree. The Kongo all the way up to the Yamamoto, the massive Yamamoto. It's also got a nice array of cruisers for the Japanese and a very nice array of destroyers as well with a special unit there. I believe that's purchased separately. The USA doesn't have any battleships at the moment. It probably will have when the proper game comes out, but it's got its set of destroyers, its set of cruisers, but it's also got aircraft carriers, which hold a whole new level of strategy to the game. I haven't actually got myself an aircraft carrier yet, but they're certainly a bit different. And then you've got the USSR, which has only got like a couple of these things, but we don't worry about that for the moment. Strategy wise, the aircraft carrier, kind of, they've got torpedo planes, spotter planes and anti-aircraft planes, which you can use to distract and destroy your enemy around and about. You'll keep that kind of towards the back or out of the way of the main battle, with your other ships protecting it and using the airplanes to attack the enemy. The cruisers, they're kind of halfway, they're quite fast. They're quite nimble, most of them. Not the most nimble, but fairly nimble. They're not that well armoured, but they are very well armed. They have very good guns, of course. The destroyers, they are really fast and nimble. They're easy to kill if you can get hits on them, but getting hits on them is another matter, because they turn really sharp, they turn really quickly, and they're very, very fast. Their main armament is the torpedo, though, so watch out for those guys. If you're lumbering around somewhere on your own with a battleship, you're going to get whacked by torpedoes, either from destroyers or from the airplanes, from the aircraft carriers. And then, of course, we've got the big guns, the destroyers of the Japanese. These are the powerhouses. You keep them kind of, I always try to keep them back out of the fray, firing from long distance until the destroyers have been hopefully destroyed by the cruisers from your team, and then you can just kind of charge these things in a bit and mop up what's left. But of course, if your team's destroyers get destroyed first, then it's another matter. So they're all the ships really that you've got to choose from. As far as other things are concerned, you've got modules that you can add to your ships as well to make them kind of better upgrades basically, and then your profile, and that's about it. So we're going to head off into a battle with our first ship, the basic one that you get at the start of the game, one of the basic ones. We're going to go for the Erie. Now the Erie isn't that well armed or armoured, but you're only going to be up against tier 1 and tier 2, possibly tier 3 weaponry anyway. So you've got your two turrets on the front here, single turrets, two single turrets on the back. You've got a bit of anti-air as well with these guys. I think only two of these were ever built, and were kind of, the Gump says they were used in the Panama Canal, and one of them got torpedoed, etc. But you can need that if you get the game. So a bit of anti-air. Now there's also a weapon on the side which I saw, which I don't know if it's functioning at the moment. We've got these little things here. I'm not sure what they are. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments, but I'm not sure if this has got a torpedo or not. It's kind of not in the game, but there is this thing on the side here. I'm not exactly sure if that's a torpedo or whether that's something else. But anyway, that's what we're going to be using, the Erie. And we're going to head off now into a battle. We'll start off playing against the bots. So this is the mission we're going to be playing today. Basically just destroy everything that the enemy's got or capture their base. It's as simple as that. It's called the Big Race, and it's a standard battle. So we whack up to full speed to start off with.
Battle starts.
In our little Erie. There's our units over to the left. I think that's the port side. And over to the right, we've got a couple of ships over there helping us out as well. We've decided to head kind of over to the right central kind of region, and we'll steam forward and see what we can do. Now, it's often a bad idea to head straight into the middle, because you might get run into a lot of trouble. Now there's also, you can, if you want, navigate using the map. Just press M, bring the map up, and you can use the shift key to set waypoints, although it's not that useful in the heat of a battle when you want to be turning and stuff, slowing down and speeding up and stuff like that. So I tend not to use that. I tend just to use the WASD keys, and also go left, right, forward, backwards, or port, starboard, and also the Q and E, which gives you kind of a steady turn left or a steady turn to the right, respectively. So we should bump into some of the enemies soon. They'll come up as red specks. with their distance away from you. We've got a minimum distance with our gun, which I think is 9 point something kilometers, and you can see that one would be out of range. It's 11.4, although one of our units are engaging it. As you can see, the shells flying over towards it. It's coming within range now, 10, so we can get some shots off. Now to shoot, you just press the left mouse button and press it, like hold it down or press it multiple times to get all your salvos off. The number of guns you've got pointing at the enemy and are able to fire at one time depend on the orientation of your boat or your ship, of course. I mean, if you're broadside on, you should be able to fire most, if not all of them. If you're front on or rear on to the enemy, then you're obviously not going to be able to do that. So my first couple of shots were just kind of getting a gauge of the distance and the speed. You have to kind of gauge the speed of the enemy together with the distance away from you as to where to shoot from. And then just basically left click. I mean, it's as easy as that. Really, really intuitive firing system. He's turned head on to me now, because I'm going to get some nice shots right into the central part of his ship. Now, if you're really skilled and you're up close, you can actually take out various structures on the ship. Otherwise, it's a bit of luck what structures you've managed to take out and the amount of damage that you're able to do. There's two types of shells. There's HE and armor piercing. The HE ones are kind of better against early tier ships. Always use HE against things like destroyers, anything with low armor, aircraft carriers, stuff like that. And the AP are definitely needed for battleships and the higher tier cruisers as well, the ships with the much better armament. HE rounds can also cause fires on the ships. You can put out fires and repair damage using the B button as well, although it does take some time to recharge, so you can't like keep putting your fires out rapidly one after another. And if you don't fix things or put your fires out, then it will do damage to your ship. The ship's got a certain amount of damage that can be done. Ours is 9,900, and you can see I just took 1,284 out of that ship there. So the idea is to do lots of damage to the enemy. You can see it's just smoked. You can lay smoke down. That might have been by a destroyer. Just lay smoke down and make the area invisible to protect yours or your allies' units. I just have another little shot there, although I missed because it must have turned in the smoke. So I'll give up on that one. You can see there's plenty of other, and then I come across this one here. Now this is a destroyer, and you can tell by the way it sits really low in the water, and look at the speed. It's really, really fast. And I'm in a lot of danger here because these fire torpedoes, and one torpedo hits me, that's going to sink me because they do so much damage, and it's really close. I'm managing to just trying to hit it. I'm actually getting not broadside on, but I'm actually turning so that the stern of my ship is facing towards the broadside of the destroyer to make it much harder for it to target me with torpedoes, the exact opposite to which. And I've got a fire now, so I'll just quickly press the B button just to try and extinguish that fire. And there, it's launched torpedoes, 4 torpedoes, and I'm end on, so they just missed me. I was really, really lucky, but I keep firing away. Just the 2 rear guns, taking it down in health. Now it must have been damaged. It's obviously had its rudder damaged because it's slowed right down, which is the reason I'm able to get all these shots off on it. And also 4 more torpedoes coming straight, and they miss as well. Again, very, very lucky, but it's not just luck because I have made sure I'm end on to this thing, and I made to there, just see that, I took out one of its sets of torpedoes, so it can only fire 2 torpedoes now until it manages to fix those. And I think it's so you can see the 2 torpedoes on the right there just flashing past. Luckily it can only fire 2 at a time, and this thing does repeatedly try to shoot at me with 4 torpedoes. Unfortunately only 2 of its things are working. So see, I've actually had my steering gear damaged, so I can't turn anymore. I can only go kind of in a straight line. 2 more torpedoes fired at me. I'm still trying to take this thing down. This is a tier 2 destroyer. It hasn't got much armament, but it is peppering me with its main guns. It's got 2 main guns firing at me. I've got 2 main guns firing at it. I've got a fire myself. I've managed to set it on fire as well, so this is a really close to 1.5 health now. Although that hasn't got much health. It's still firing torpedoes at me, but then suddenly you can see the speed of the destroyer changes as it gets its engine back online and repaired. and it makes a dash for it. Turns immediately. You can see how fast those destroyers are. Managed to get a couple more shots off as it just turns side on, but they go over the top. You can see how low slung it is in the water. I'm determined to get this thing though, so I'm having to fire ahead of it. Then it puts a smoke screen up, so it fires smoke to try to, and it disappears from my view. Just coming back, and then 4 more torpedoes just miss me as it disappears into the smoke. So that was quite an intense battle there, as the torpedoes disappear into the distance, both trading 2 shots for 2 shots. Luckily, none of those, really luckily, although a little bit of skill involved in not letting those torpedoes hit my ship. One of them would have absolutely destroyed me. You can see I'm on quite low health because we were kind of trading 2 shots for 2 shots. And I'm just trying to turn to try and get back. You can see it just disappeared behind the mountain there, but the game ends because we captured the enemy's base, or my teammates are. So that was a really nice battle with my tier 1 gunboat, or well, it's a little cruiser really. And so you get your stats up, you can get some more, your team score as well, and you can see how well you did against the rest of your team. We didn't get any kills, but we did okay. We did quite a lot of damage, especially to that one destroyer, so we got quite a lot of points there. And you can even get a detailed report with a complete breakdown of your points if you're really into that sort of. So I hope you enjoyed this first look at World of Warships on the channel. I'm going to be posting some more of this game because I really like it, and I think I'm going to be playing a fair amount of it, although I'm hoping to find some other players on TeamSpeak and that, so that we can have some games together, because I think the strategies in this game are going to work out really well when you've got a combination of maybe 3 or 4 players for different types of ship, helping each other out. And I'm going to end this video going back to the Kongo, show a little bit of action with my Kongo. At the end of one of the games, my Kongo was pretty battered up. The gun wasn't firing properly, it was firing really slowly because it was damaged. One of my allies was under heavy fire from the opponent's Kongo, and we never killed it. So enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.
Sekarang mulai sehat, berkat myriad, meskipun naik meningkat, dapat senjata yang sakit. Dia pakai solat kita, yuk sertakan luka dalam hebat, dan jika sehingga agar tutup, yuk dulu ya simak, kami tiga sahabat, setia dan tenang, berbatu dan sepakat, siang dan gembira, di atas tikar terbang, menjelajah dunia, kerana ingin berbakti untuk sesama manusia.